The days that followed, King Leo could not sleep that night. He lay under the stars, his mind wandering where it rarely ventured. In all his years of rule, none had ever dared speak to him without shaking. Not the wolves, not the jackals, not even the mighty bull elephant who had once challenged him during a drought. But the mouse, so small, so fragile, had looked him in the eye and said she might save him. It was absurd. And yet there was something unsettling in her calmness, something familiar buried deep beneath years of conquest and roaring. The next morning found himself looking toward the throne tree's roots as if expecting her to return. She did not, but Mira remembered. Mira's world below the jungle canopy. Life moved in hurried whispers and careful scampers. The mouse village was hidden beneath the gnarled roots of the old fig tree, where the earth smelled of mushrooms and moss, and the tunnels were lit by glowing beetles. Tethered to tiny vines, Myra returned from her adventure, both shaken and alive with fire. Her siblings pounced on her with questions. Her grandmother scolded her sharply but embraced her tightly afterward. "You spoke to him?" Mika asked in disbelief. "I did," Mira whispered, still breathless, "and he let me go." He saw no threat, Mika muttered. "You are nothing to him." "That is not mercy, it is ego." "No," Mira said softly. He listened. The next few days passed quietly, but Mira changed. She walked differently. She spoke with animals. The mice usually avoided porcupines, bats, snakes. She learned about their fears, their dreams, their complaints about the king's laws. In the corners of the forest, stories echoed how King Leo's rules had grown harsher, how the jungle now lived in quiet dread, how smaller creatures were pushed farther into the roots and reeds. And still, Mira remembered the softness in Leo's eyes that day. Maybe, just maybe, something was still alive in him beyond the roar. Whispers of dissentals where, in the dry lands beyond the jungle edge, shadows gathered. Brutus the hyena, once banished from Orarion for defying King Leo, had returned. He bore scars across his muzzle, memories of punishment and hatred in his eyes. He had seen the lion's weakness, not in strength, but in the cracks in the kingdom. "He's gone soft," Brutus told the pack that gathered around him in the red twilight, letting mice run beneath his paws. With him were others cast away by Leo's rule. Kali, the Black Panther, once a general of the southern forests, Seth the Jackal, master of poisons and deceit, and others hungry for chaos. Together, they formed the Nightclaw's secret league of exiles. Predators and scavengers who believed the jungle belonged not to the strong, but the cunning. "We will not ask for space," Brutus snarled. "We will take it." Their plan would take time. It would begin with the weakening of the king's image. Whispers would spread, fear would return, and so it began. The broken branch one day. As Myra helped a family of rabbits who had been displaced from their burrow by a flood, she saw it again. The imbalance. The jungle was not cruel by nature, but by structure. Leo's reign, while keeping order, had forgotten fairness. Animals feared to approach the river because Leo's law allowed only the strongest to drink first. The sick waited until the crocodiles came. Fruit was hoarded by the birds of the upper trees, while the monkeys paid in labor just to receive leftovers. Mira began teaching, not lessons of strength, but of survival through unity. She showed squirrels how to build storage pouches. She taught moles how to dig escape tunnels. She began writing letters, yes, letters on leaves using thorn-dipped berries. They were sent across the jungle tied to dragonflies, frogs, and sparrows. She called herself the thread, the unseen line stitching the forest small. Voices together, word of her spread, so did word of the lion's silence, and in the dark, Brutus smiled. The second meeting weeks later. Leo walked alone under the moonlight. His advisors had left after a long, boring meeting. Zuri the eagle had warned him of rising complaints, but Leo brushed it off. "They are forestlings. They always complain," he had said, but his pause took him, unknowingly, toward the throne tree again. There, Sitting at the root, reading from a large curled leaf, was Mira. She didn't see him at first. She was teaching a group of fireflies how to spell. Leo's eyes widened. You again. Mira jumped and turned, but didn't flee. King Leo, she greeted him, and this time bowed. You teach insects. Why not? She replied. Words matter more than weight, he chuckled. What strange creature are you? One who believes the jungle could be better. Paused, then sat down, truly sat beside her. I don't understand. You're kind. She looked up. We're not so different, you and I. He turned his head. I command storms, and I command whispers. She smiled. Both can move mountains. For the first time in years, Leo laughed, and above them, the stars blinked a little brighter.